Right, well, I wasn't actually going to do another reply this soon. However, a topic come up and I couldn't really resist. Now, as you can see, IRL streams at private parties. Now, this is kind of to do with the TwitchCon stuff that's been going on at the moment, and lots of IRL streamers being kicked out of the party for various reasons. Obviously, I think the main reason being they were streaming and people didn't want them streaming and so on and so forth. Now, I don't really want to get into that too much because there are a few things here I want to kind of clarify, and it's a bigger topic than just the streaming. So, for me anyway, I can kind of understand both sides of this argument to begin with. For a start, I saw a tweet, I can't tell if it's real, about TwitchCon saying all of TwitchCon is streamable. Kind of made a rather for own back there saying that, and you're saying if people are going to stream everywhere. I can understand people's frustration at streamers not wanting to be streamed. It kind of seems a bit weird to a lot of people. But at the same time, I kind of understand it, right? If I was a streamer, and I'm not, as it's kind of plainly obvious, I understand why people don't want to be streamed when they're not doing that. I think we have to bear in mind here is that these streamers, when they are streaming, they consider it work. They put in a lot of hard work to kind of do this and become the personality and so on and so forth. And if you're in that kind of unguarded environment where you're at a party and maybe you're talking to people you haven't spoke to in a while and with friends and you're having a good time, you don't want to have that kind of anxiety that comes from feeling like you maybe have to be a little bit on guard, or you get shown up, or anything can happen. You know, we say in esports, hot mics ruin careers because if you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, you can get blown out of proportion and whatever can happen. Imagine you're at a party and you're drinking, and people are judging you on that. It can feel uncomfortable. It certainly can feel very, very weird here. Obviously, the solution would be if IRL streamers are allowed at this Twitch party, then the streamers have the option to go or not. They don't have to go to the party. But if you're Twitch, think of the business side of this, you're throwing a party for these streamers and you want them to go because you've done this big TwitchCon. At that point, you can say, well, I don't want these streamers not coming to our event. We don't want them not attending because we've put on this big thing here. So, obviously, we want to not make them feel uncomfortable. Want them to relax. And this kind of comes into my own feelings about it a little bit here. Because, like I said, I can see both sides of that. But it comes into my own personal stuff where I've been to after parties, and I have a very strict thing about after parties. Like, I'll go to them. I really want to enjoy them and see people you haven't seen in a long time. But only kind of certain after parties. And it's a bit snowy. Like, I won't go to like a rave club. That's not really my thing. And a lot of the time I'm going there because I've done long days on set. I want to catch up with friends I haven't seen in a long time. That's another thing you've got to bear in mind here is some of these people I may only see once every 6 months. And when I'm working, I'm working. And if we've got a break while I'm working, I'm either watching the game or we're discussing the game or we're just completely chilling out because we've got a long day to go here. Obviously not related to the streamers. The streamers are a little bit different from that. But like I like going to like a pub and just enjoying myself and maybe catching up with people and talking candidly about stuff. Stuff that I probably wouldn't want to say on a public broadcast. And maybe it's just like rumors or stuff that's going on, or we're talking about the latest gossip that's going down, or anything along those lines. Or maybe I'm just being a bit more candid with people about, what I want to say. And I'm not really worried about my public perception, but you put a camera in my face, I kind of go into work mode. I've always go into work mode, and I'm very much a little bit more focused. It's not a different me. It's just put it this way. It's kind of how you would be around your girlfriend's parents. It's still you, but you're just making sure that you're not doing anything wrong. And I kind of feel that even if I'm being perfectly fine, like I could be perfectly happy with what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything wrong. There's no issue with me here. It's just a little bit more. It's not relaxing. And I've experienced that more than once. I think a guy come up to me and asked for a picture when I was in the gym, and I'm like, look, that's fine, but I would rather do it when I'm not sweating out of my face and so on and so forth. And I'm not dying here. I'm kind of just in a mess and all that sort of stuff, right? I've come to the gym just to kind of work out and put my headphones in. And I spoke to him for a good 5 minutes, and it was cool, right? We had a great discussion. And I said, next time catch me on the way out after a shower or something, and I'll take as many pictures as you want. It's perfectly fine. Unfortunately, he didn't have his phone anyway, so there's no picture of me just completely sweating my face off in the gym. But it was one of those things where I'm like, I don't really mind having my picture taken with anybody, but it does kind of tense me up a bit if it's out of the blue. I'll selfie with just about anybody, but like people just randomly taking pictures of me I don't mind. It just tenses me up a little bit. And again, I can understand why this happens with people, and I can kind of understand why some people maybe don't want that atmosphere when they're in the kind of the relaxed mode. Of course, it's a little bit of a different here between what I do and what streamers do, because I'm kind of doing mine in a professional broadcast kind of mode here, and I want the complete opposite when I come out. Streamers are more so about streaming them just doing their everyday lives and maybe just playing games and stuff, so it's a little bit different. I kind of understand that as well, and like I said, I can see both sides of this IRL streams at a private parties kind of conversation here. I don't know which is correct. I imagine that there are lessons going to be learned for this for Twitch and for the streamers here. And I don't know how they're going to proceed. It wouldn't surprise me if IRL streams are not allowed at private parties, or if they are, it's announced beforehand and just don't expect to see as many Twitch streamers. They'll just go somewhere else. I've done that before after an event where I've just been like, look, I just want to talk to like 4 of you. Let's just go to a bar and we'll have a conversation and a few drinks. I don't really want to go to this loud rave party. Even though, I appreciate it being set up for us and all that sort of thing. But after 16 hours on the job, I just don't want to do it. But no, I kind of want to see what you guys think. It was very curious to me when this started coming out here, because it's a personal bugbear of mine. And like I said, I understand it's a little bit different. And the esports guys, especially that I've seen on Twitter so far, have been saying, we just don't want you streaming this as a private party. And the esports guys seem to pretty much be along the same thoughts as mine. The streamers obviously have a little bit of a different thought, and the people who watch these streamers have the thought thinking that if you broadcast their life, then they should just be able to be broadcast whenever. But I think if you're being honest with yourself and really thinking about all of this going down, then you have to kind of understand that, would you be okay with the camera being shoved in your face? And I know what you're going to say. Your instant response is, but I'm not a streamer. That's understandable. But it doesn't change that much, right? It's just, it's a little bit, oh, okay, there's a camera here now. And especially with streamers, it's the other thing you want to bear in mind here, is with streamers or YouTubers, they control their own content. They have control of it, right? The camera, the microphone, the lighting, the setup, what they want to put out there is their stuff, and they're happy to do that. They are giving you their narrative, their content, their way of looking at the world, and their way they want to be perceived. You take all that control away, give it to somebody else, and all of a sudden they're going to feel a little bit defensive. This is not what I signed up for. This is not, I don't have any control of this. I'm at a party, I'm with some friends, something happens, I'm instigated now, it could be go all over Twitter or Twitch or Reddit. So I can at least understand why people would be a bit upset about it. I think Twitch obviously, probably will change their policy on it, so it's kind of more defined, so they don't have this problem next time. And it's the same thing, esports events where the public are in the after party and so on and so forth. Right now you can hear my dogs going absolutely crazy. I don't know what's going on in the background there, but that's a good time to kind of end this video. If you kind of want to comment on it and see what you think about this whole situation that's kind of blowing up on Twitter at the moment, let me know. I'm trying to get to respond to as many comments as possible. Subscribe, leave a like, do whatever you feel like. Like I said, it's no big deal, but I do appreciate it. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.